files they have on Jeffrey Epstein. It has been 21 days overdue. The DOJ has now released less than 1% of what they have. Yes, less than 1%. They still have more than 2 million documents that are under review this evening. The two lawmakers who led the charge to force the release of these documents are now asking a federal judge to step in. One of them, Congressman Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, they've asked for a special master and an independent monitor to force the DOJ's compliance in releasing all the Epstein documents, arguing we have urgent and grave concerns about the Justice Department's failure to comply with the act, and absent an independent process, as outlined above, we do not believe the DOJ will produce the records that are required by the act. And Ro Khanna, the Democratic congressman, joins me now. Thank you, sir, for being here. What are you hoping exactly that this special master would be able to do in regards to the millions of documents that are still in the Justice Department's possession?
I hope the special master will make sure that the Department of Justice complies with the law, that we finally see the documents that will hold the rich and powerful men who were on Epstein's rape island accountable. Most importantly, we need the survivors' statements to the FBI where they named who these individuals were. And we want to make sure that there's not excessive redaction.
And do you think you're going to get a special master here? What's the likelihood of this?
Well, Judge Engelmayer has been very fair and very diligent. And he's been in correspondence with Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi has said, look, we realize we haven't complied with the law. We still have millions of documents. We're complying. So what we said is there is an independent process. He can appoint a special master, and they should go through the documents and make a determination. I believe that Judge Engelmayer is going to do the right thing, which is how do we protect victims? How do we protect survivors? But also comply with the law. So if there's anyone who can help resolve this, it is him.
Well, I think the biggest thing that's come through is people are going to say, why haven't they released them yet? I know the argument from the Justice Department is they told the court, we've got over 400 attorneys working on this. Extensive redactions are needed in these 2 million documents that are remaining. Do you think that they have a point? Is that fair in any way from your perspective?
I don't know the technology at the DOJ. I'm in Silicon Valley. I mean, an AI program could figure out very quickly where the redactions are. I don't see why it's taking so many attorneys and so long. But Massie and my concern is less about the time, and our bigger concern is that the documents that the country wants are not being released. They're not releasing the FBI 302 statements where survivors actually named these powerful men. They're not releasing the prosecution memos, which explain all the counts against Epstein and why they were dropped. So I do think that the judge can, with a special master, retire that and expedite the process. But this month, we'll see how much good faith the Department of Justice is showing. I mean, they've got 2/3 of the Southern District of New York working on that. That's the most important district in the country. It's the one that's prosecuting Madero. Yeah. They've literally got the attorneys. So let's get the documents out.
Well, and on this front, we've talked about this before, what y'all believe the consequences should be if you don't get your hands on these documents and how the DOJ handles this. Part of that has included holding Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, in inherent contempt of Congress. That could mean daily fines for her until she complies. It would require a vote in the House. Do you think you'd have the Republican support to do that?
We're building it. In candor, we don't have the votes yet, though Thomas Massie and I are likely going to introduce it in the next few days. But when we did the discharge petition, we had very few votes. And the reality is there is a lot of anger at Pam Bondi right now, Republicans and Democrats. And if this continues and they continue to stonewall, then we will get to the votes, just like we did on the discharge petition. But they have an opportunity over the next few weeks. And it's less about the quantity of what they release and more about, are they going to release the documents that name the rich and powerful men who were involved, who were named as co-conspirators, who showed up on the rape island, who abused or raped these young girls. That's what we want to know. And so far, they've released none of those actual documents.
If you get inherent contempt, could you see this leading to impeachment proceedings?
That's the final thing on the table. And yes, I mean, it could lead to impeachment. But neither Thomas Massie or I really care ultimately about going after Pam Bondi or the Deputy Attorney General Blanchard. I mean, our interest is to see justice for survivors who were abandoned for decades, not just in this administration, for many administrations. I mean, Maria complained to the FBI in 1996, and nothing was done. They ignored it, and for decades she was called a liar. And I've gotten to know, as I know you have, Kate, some of these survivors personally. I see the trauma. I get stopped at airports with people who have faced sexual assault saying, finally we feel seen. Please make sure that something is done. I want these files out. That's what I care about.
Yeah.
And it's time we get this to happen.
Maria and Annie Farmer, they've been very straightforward and upfront with their concerns and how long they were ignored by the FBI. Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Kevin.
And up next here, from the daring capture of Maduro to that ICE shooting that happened in Minneapolis and the aftermath, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of a dramatic start to this new year for the Trump administration right after this.
News Night with Abby Phillips.